In this lesson, you will edit dimensions with their grips and by using specialized commands to break extension lines and adjust the spacing between dimension lines. You will also alter associated geometry and learn how to override dimension text. Open the Engine 6 project file and zoom in down here. I notice that it's kind of tight in this area. With this 7 here, it's very close to the extension line of this aligned dimension. That's no problem. We can move the 7 over. Click the 7, and its entire dimension object highlights. Put the cursor right on this grip, and you'll see a grip menu appear. Choose Move Text Only, and then click a point up here to locate the number. Press Escape to deselect. Zoom out. And I notice that I neglected to dimension the distance between this hole and this hole. Let's do so now with a new linear dimension. Click Linear here on the Dimensions panel, and then snap to the center of this circle and the center of this one. Move the cursor up and click right here to snap these lines so that they're all coincident. Then click this dimension to highlight it. Use its grip by clicking it and stretch it up. Click again to put it back down and press Escape to deselect. Now, over here we have these dimensions that were created by the baseline command, and their dimension lines are all evenly spaced. Up here, I just clicked this at some arbitrary distance above 96. So we can use a specialized command to keep the dimension lines evenly spaced. It's located right here. Click Adjust Space. Select the base dimension, which is this one, and then select the dimensions to space. In this case, it's just this one above it. I'll press Enter and use the Auto option. Over here we have a bunch of extension lines which are crossing. It's a good practice to break one set of them so that the eye can see more clearly what these extension lines are pointing at, without having this visual confusion of all these crossing lines. You can do this very easily with the Dim Break command right here. Click it, and then on the command line it says, select dimension to add or remove a break, or multiple. In this case we have multiple, so I'll select all of these dimensions across the top. Press Enter, and then use Auto mode. And they're all cut wherever they need to, where they intersect with other dimension lines or extension lines or other geometry. All of these dimensions are reading real-world values right off the geometry. It's possible to override this and enter alternate text. I'll select these two equal dimensions, right-click, and choose Properties. Scroll down and locate this last text parameter, which says Text Override. Click right here and type equal and press Enter. So the numbers disappear, and you can see them right here if you want. But on screen, the dimensions will now just say equal. I caution you not to override dimensions with false numerical values. A much better approach is simply to change the geometry that the dimensions are associated with. Over here, let's say that this circle is too large, and we know that this radius value should be smaller. So instead of overriding this dimension, it makes much better sense to change the diameter of this circle. Select it, and go over here to its diameter parameter, highlight it, and type in 36 and press Enter. The circle gets smaller. Press Escape to deselect. Ideally, this dimension should automatically update, but due to a bug in AutoCAD, it doesn't always work. You can convince it to update just by going into the dimension style and coming back out again. Type D-Enter, go Modify, OK without changing anything, and click Close. Voila! The dimension automatically updated because it's associated with that circle. So in this lesson, you used grips and the dim break and dim space commands to edit dimension objects and improve their appearance. You also made a geometric change and watched an associated dimension update. Finally, you learned how to override dimension values with text.